Hello, folks. Welcome in. Welcome in. Looks like people are slow to pop on in here this evening, which is fine because I'm running a little bit late. I got my little one. I gotta, I gotta tuck him into bed yet here. So I'm gonna disappear here in a minute for just about 30 seconds. Hello, Judith and Dan Davis. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're going to be talking food tonight. I got a fishtail to share with y'all. So we're going to get to that. I do apologize. I'm running just a bit late. I'm probably going to pop off here for like 1 minute. But yeah, it's it's a fun little fishtail. And hopefully we'll get some folks in here and we'll get to talking about food. I know everybody loves food. So gosh, I gotta imagine people come in and share their favorite foods, their favorite recipes. Imagine everybody has their favorite way to prepare fish, and some may prefer it fried, some may prefer it the baked with lemon, butter, and that sort of thing. And then I'm sure folks who got their I feel like that's all jacked up. Anyway, it's probably just the angle of the camera. I'm sure folks have got their favorite game recipes. So we'll delve into a lot of that stuff. And of course, at the end, then I will be doing my channel shout outs. So stand by. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, folks, 1 minute. I'll be right back. Back. I see we got John from Small Water Charters is in the house. We got Raymond Williams is in the house. Welcome, welcome, fellas. As I alluded to, Brandon Outdoors Adventures. Welcome in, my fellow Ohioan. Love to see you here, hanging out, talking about food. I mean, everybody loves food, right? We should have like 50 people in here. But anyway, I began this. I did actually start it really close to on time. I mean, for me, 8:01 is like on time. um, Before I get into the food, I do have a fishtail to share, and I could probably get it up here on the phone, but I don't know how to do it on here because pushing buttons and I'll probably ruin the live stream. But um, for anyone that's on here and may have me on Instagram, or if you have Instagram, uh, you would have seen that I posted a really big smallmouth bass that I caught yesterday. Now, this smallmouth bass, I'll hold it up for the camera here so you folks here can see it. This was 19 and a half inches. I don't know how well that's showing up, but I feel like I'm going the wrong way. 19.5 inch smallmouth bass that I caught yesterday at Allen Creek Lake. That's a fine bass, and that was a fine battle, right? But guess what? If you're paying attention in that picture, you saw that there was a strap with a camera there, right? So I should have gotten really good footage of that fish and the 18-incher I caught right before it. They were on back-to-back casts. It was a pretty awesome bite, but as it were, life happens. Doggone it all. I forgot to put my micro SD card back in the action camera from when I had pulled it previously to load footage onto my laptop. So it was a stinker. It's probably why I caught that fish. Yeah, that's John, that's a good question on the I guess I could pop that up there. I found that on Amazon and I looked for it because I used to have the chest mount for the action camera, and I felt like every time I set the hook on a fish, it blocked the view of the camera. Whereas that shoulder mount, I can set the hook and it doesn't block the view of the camera. So yeah, I don't yeah, it definitely, John, it gets in the way. And that shoulder harness it's just the cat's meow because it's got a ball to it, so it's infinitely adjustable. You know, once you get it out there, you can kind of tweak it a little bit, and it gives you 2 or 3 inches of play one way or the other. So they're real nice. I don't think I paid an arm and a leg for that either. It might have been $30. 30 bucks, $34, something like that. It's on Amazon. If you Google, GoPro shoulder mount or action camera shoulder mount, you'll come up with that. But yeah, I went mushroom hunting too, and I've been striking out on the mushrooms, but I never did turn the camera on when I was in the woods skipping around looking for mushrooms. I wasn't going to turn it on unless I found some, and I never did. So then I got to the lake, and I don't think I even made a cast. I was like, okay, I'm going to get the camera going. I'm going to have it on and going. And I hit the button and it just kept beeping at me. And I'm like, what's going on? So finally I tilted it so I could see it when I pressed it. If it gave me an error message, sure enough, it said no card. It's like, son of a God. Oh, man. So, Murphy's Law tells us that's the reason I caught that fish, just because I didn't have the camera going. If I'd had the camera going, I'd have caught a 12-incher. And it's tough to say. Here's another neat thing about that fish. I wasn't real sure. Hey, Living Simple Homestead and Outdoors. Welcome in. Good to have you. Yeah, we're going to be talking about food. So stick around. I promise we'll get into that. But another thing about that fish, I didn't have a measuring device with me. It's kind of a long hike. I packed minimal gear when I go in there. This was a bank spot that I just know it produces fish. I went in there thinking I was going to catch sawguy for dinner, and if they weren't there, sometimes I can catch crappies. But I got in there and I could see stuff was chasing. Minnows were flying around, so I knew something was chomping, but I didn't know it was smallmouth. And I was fishing a good 20, 25 minutes, and I popped an 18-inch smallie. And I got him in, and I got a couple of pictures of him, and I put him back. And I don't have a measuring device, so I didn't know how big he was. I thought he was about 16 and a half or 17, right? Backwoods Barbarian, Daniel, welcome in. I bet you're here to talk about food. We're going to get to that, I promise you. And you folks, again, I mentioned it previously. If you've got Instagram, look me up, Dark 30 Outdoors on Instagram. You'll see that picture of that fish. But anyway, I caught this 18-incher, and I didn't know what he was. He's a 16 and a half. Is he a 17? That's what I was thinking he was. But I measured him against my rod, right? What where he, you know, stretched out to on the rod. I kind of marked that mentally where he was, and the very next cast, boom, that at 19 and a half, and she was all kinds of upset. She ripped drag for 20 yards and turned right around and shot straight up out of the water. And she jumped 4 times, and the second jump was like a backflip deal. I was like, this fish just really pulling out all the stops. So it was a really exciting catch, but I cannot believe I didn't get that on, get footage of that. That was definitely a stinker, but that's the way it goes. Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors, welcome in. Good to have you. Oh, you're working, Daniel? That's cool. Listening, that works too. So I checked that fish. I knew when I landed it that it was much bigger than the previous one. Well, it was bigger. And so I marked it on the rod, did the same thing, measured it with the rod. Where does it go on the rod? And I knew it was a good 1.5 to 2 inches bigger than the one I had just caught. So I was like, they recognize fish in Ohio with a Fish Ohio certificate and pen. So every species has its standard or guideline that you got to achieve to earn one of those. It's on the honor system, but I don't know why people would lie about that to get a certificate or a pen. It would be pretty hollow if you lied. But anyway, I didn't think the first one was a Fish Ohio, but I was darn certain that second one, I was like, that's 18 plus. I knew it was probably 18 and a half at least. But when I got home, I measured the rod to the points that those fish hit. And that's when I knew what I had. The first one was an 18-incher, and the second one was a 19.5-incher. So, I mean, I was like, wow. Those are, for smallmouth bass in an inland reservoir in Ohio, that's a really, really good fish. So that's my fish story. And again, if you want to check out that picture, you're welcome to go to Instagram and look it up on Dark 30 Outdoors. Or if you don't want to, that's fine too. I don't care. I'm not pimping my Instagram. If someone said, "Hey, throw it on the Facebook Dark 30," I would, but I don't put a lot of activity on that Facebook under Dark 30. I don't know why. A few of you guys have found me in my personal Facebook page, and that's fine too. I don't think I put it on there either. I shared it on so many of my fishing groups that I felt like I was spamming Facebook with those fish. So I kind of backed off on that a little bit, but I could certainly put it up if anybody would say, "Hey, put that up there." Greenwell Fishing, welcome in. Good to have you. Real good to have you. We got Greenwell Fishing's in the house, Raymond Williams in the house, John with Smallwater Chargers. I don't know if Lindley's listening as well. Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors. Judith and Dan Davis are in the house. And we had Daniel from Backwoods Barbarian and Living Simple Homestead and Outdoors checking in. And Brandon Outdoors Adventures. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of this live stream, right? Everyone wants to talk about food. We all love food. I mean, some of us love food a little bit more than others. I promise you, I love food and I eat food as much as anybody else. God bless me with a rocket ship for a metabolism, so I don't show it a whole lot. My kids are telling me I'm getting old and then I am putting on a belly, so maybe he's just catching up with me, but I don't know. And having said that, I like my fish dripping with oil and grease, and I fry those babies up. And I know a lot of people do like fried fish with the with seasoned breading, and that's my go-to, especially for fresh fish. I absolutely love it prepared that way, and it's really easy too. You just throw the fillets in some milk, and then drop them in breading and drop them in the butter flavored Crisco in your iron skillet, right? And everybody does fry their fish in an iron skillet, right? I'm not the only one, right? I mean, come on now. Welcome into Beast. He likes his fish beer battered. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean the muskies. We're not beer battering muskies. No, those are designed as a trophy fishery. But we most folks I know, if we're talking muskies, that's a catch and release deal there. Same with the smallmouth bass that I caught last night. That was a catch and release. I took a picture and I put them back in the lake. Maybe they'll get bigger. Who knows? Um, Okay, John, you guys use a fryer? Oh wow, House Autry. Okay. Yeah, that's good stuff. I think I have tried that. Frying Magic. If we're gonna talk about breading, Frying Magic. Sometimes I can find it in my local grocery, and sometimes I can't. They don't all carry it, and some of them do, and that even goes the same for uh, a store with the same name, like Kroger's. I don't know if you guys have Kroger's where you're at, but that's pretty big here in Ohio. I can go into one Kroger's and find Frying Magic, then I can go into a Kroger's in the next town over, and they don't carry it. So I don't know how they figure that stuff out, but anyway, yeah, Tom he knows what's up. We fry our fish in the cast iron skillet. That's the way to go. Okay, Judith and Dan Davis, you can do both, huh? Okay, we got Daniel at work, but he's chiming in with his buttermilk pancake batter with French fries, seasoning, and pepper. Simple and works on every fish out there. Yeah, that sounds like that would work just fine, Daniel. A lot of people do that. They just kind of make it their own. Bass are for weighing and bragging, and crappie are for eating. I agree with you, John. That's one of my favorite fish to eat, John. I'll be honest with you. Fresh crappie, it is tough to beat, especially in cold water. We got Frontier Survival is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. We're talking food. Um, yeah, I promise you, folks. Crappie, fresh crappie. I think that's some of the best eating out there. And then a close second up, I'm going to call it a tie between bluegill and yellow perch. I mean, it's underrated, uh, especially the bluegill. But if I can find a pond that's got them like that, those 7.5, 8 inch gillies, bull gillies, then I'm a happy camper. That's really really good eating. The beast says cast iron on the grill outside. Then the family won't complain about the smell day after day. Yeah, yeah, I hear you, the beast. It can be that can be part of it. John likes his redfish as well. That's good. That's good. And uh, I mentioned bluegill and yellow perch, but I'll tell you what, if I'm gonna go fishing and I want to catch fish to eat, but I'm not gonna eat them right away, this is gonna be a freeze them and save them for later. I like the saw guy, and I like this guy right here. That's a walleye. Now that was a trophy. That happened to be 32 inches and 13 pounds, and I caught that in Lake Erie in December in 1999. So I didn't eat that one. That was a shocking fish. It was the only fish that we landed that night. My uncle and I fishing till from about 5 in the evening until 1 in the morning. We had some bites. We had some fish on. That was the only one we got in. But walleye and sawguy, those type of fish, they tend to hold up well. I think the meat is just a little bit tougher, so that when you freeze them and then thaw them, they do tend to do pretty well. If In my experience, a lot of times when I catch crappie and I freeze them and I thaw them, they get kind of flaky. They flake apart. They just want to tear down, and it's like the integrity. They don't hold their structure too well after freezing and thawing. Daniel says cooking fish over an open fire. I've done that a few times, especially camping, like backwoods, camping scenario. If you got some, maybe you have some aluminum foil and a wire grill or bracket type thing. Absolutely. Absolutely cook those fish right over an open fire. That's fantastic. That's when I really like to do that lemon butter thing, man. That's really, really, really good. Um, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Living MN Outdoors. Welcome in. Good to have you. We're talking about food, so we're making everybody hungry. um, we're making me hungry anyway. Some of you guys got some good stuff. You got some good stuff. I like it. I like it. Yeah, Daniel, you talk about that cooking over the open fire. That's probably the best way for fresh fish. You if you catch it and you clean it and you throw it right on that open fire, get a little bit of that smoke flavor going. Man, that is tough to beat. Tough to beat. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That is really, really good stuff. Then sliced potatoes, homemade chips with the crappie. Yeah, yeah. One of my go-tos when I do eat fish is tater tots, frozen tater tots, just because it's simple. I pull them out, I throw them in the oven, and I forget about them for 15, 20 minutes, and then bam, I had tater tots, nice crispy tater tots with my fried fish. Love it. Love it. Okay, okay, we have hammered on fish. Does anybody have any unique fish recipes? Something that has not been thrown out there, something that maybe nobody's ever heard of? Maybe how you do your fish tacos? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had fish tacos. I've seen them, and I think I've probably been in a restaurant when people at my table got fish tacos, but I don't know if me personally if I've ever gotten fish tacos. Oh yeah, bluegill fillets and a crab boil. Whew. Oh, that sounds so good. Actually, the crab boil part's it's the best. I would just love to have a crab boil. Some fresh shrimp in there, peeling a shrimp, and some bluegill fillets, crawfish, crab, you name it. Drop it all in there. That's, love it, love it, love it. But yeah, that sounds fantastic. Boiled northern pike says living MN outdoors. 7 up and dip it in garlic butter. Now, see, there's a recipe I'd never heard of. That is fantastic. Welcome in, West Virginia, Chad. He says that he's a vegetarian. You're my kind of guy, West Virginia, Chad. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. Absolutely good to have you. Raymond Williams is a fan of lobster rolls and oyster po' boy. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Most seafood, I'm down with it, especially if you bring me a bowl of melted butter. Peel and eat steamed shrimp is one of my favorite dishes. Crab legs, lobster. Just bring me a bowl of butter, and I'm gonna be happy as a lark. Absolutely. Oh boy, John's gonna tell us about the vegetarian. Yeah, bad on her. The Beast is talking about channel cats. How do you prepare your channel cats, the Beast? Do you prefer the smaller ones for eating, like maybe them 13 to 18 inches? I don't catch 5 or 6, 8 pound channel cats and bring those home to eat. Those can go back, but I'll eat. I've eaten plenty of catfish, and usually they're the smaller variety. Um, it gets a little bit less tough that way. Salt fish is the best. Salt water. I mean, seafood. Yeah. I mean, As I was just saying, shrimp and crab legs and lobster, a bowl of butter. That's tough to beat. That's just tough to beat. But I will say that that 7-Up recipe, man, that Living M Men threw out there, that's a new one on me. I might have to check that out. 7-Up and dip them in garlic butter. Heck yeah, that sounds fantastic. Judith and Dan Davis, they say flatheads are the ribeye of catfish. Like a fatty, tough steak. Yes, thank you, Frontier Survival. Folks, hit that thumbs up. I tremendously appreciate it. I appreciate all you being here, spending your Wednesday evening with me for just a little while. That's a lot of fun. I mean, who doesn't love talking about food? I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Soak the moss in cola. I don't know what that's all about. Turtle bites? I always talking about turtle bites. I've never had that, Daniel. Living that man. I got two Daniels in here, so I guess I got to call you by your username. um, I've never had turtle. That does sound kind of good. I'd try it. I'll try anything once. I, there's not a food I wouldn't try once, at least. Okay. Salami and press. Oh, I can't even say that. I'll say anything. I'll butcher anything, but boy, I don't know. She put salami and prosciutto. Oh my God. Salami and prosciutto on the Traeger to smoke it. I'm going to put some mozzarella on there as well. Okay. Oh, the saltfish. Right, 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 right. Now I got you, Daniel. Now I got I'm with you, Tom. I'd try it. I don't think I'd be brave enough to just go out and catch a snapping turtle myself and then try the recipe. But if somebody else did it and cooked it and had it there at like a camp out or something, it's, hey, you want to try this? We cooked up some turtle. I'd try it. I'd try it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to do it on my own. I don't think I would go out of my way to do it on my own. Okay, we have talked about fish. We have talked about seafood. We have talked about turtle. Um, what about game? Right? You guys like deer meat? Do you like rabbit and pheasant? Do you like duck? Where's Daddy Duck when you need him? I don't know if I've ever tried duck. I've heard a lot of people say if it's prepared right, it's good, and if it's not, it's not. So I don't know. I don't have experience on that. Some of you folks further down south, I don't know if you hunt wild hogs. Do you have a wild hog recipe? Is that just you put it on the Barbie, where you just roast it all day long? I don't know. I don't know. I've had it, but not for a long, long, long time. But what are some of your favorite game recipes? Just like any other pork, the wild pigs, sure, sure. Yeah, Tom, I think I saw you mentioned that in a video or another live. The rabbit bites deep in a deep fryer. That sounds fantastic. And I've tried rabbit 3 or 4 different times, and I was never able to get it to, to taste very good. And that at least sounds pretty enticing. Frontier Survival likes groundhog. The old whistle pigs. Frontier. That reminds me. I've got a buddy that I used to work with, and his name is Glenn, and he developed a nickname of groundhog. So he's probably had that nickname for 20 years. We call him groundhog. Well, where's groundhog? Good dude, loves to fish, loves to hunt, and he loves to farm. So I haven't run across old groundhog for a while. Grilled beaver back straps with Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. That sounds pretty good. I would certainly try that. I would certainly try that. Living MN Outdoors. Daniel says cube duck in 1 inch cubes. You marinate it in orange juice for 3 hours and wrap it in bacon and then grill it. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Quite honestly, any game meat that you wrap in bacon and put on the grill usually turns out pretty good. The fat in the bacon, that usually helps it cook up nice and juicy. And all that fat juice is cooked up in there. Yeah, I tried the crock pot a couple different ways on the rabbits, Tom. Yeah, you know a feller named Groundhog? Okay. Okay. I guess it's a might be a more common nickname than I realized. Cranberry beaver summer sausage. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if that's something I'd try. I try most anything. That might be one I just put on that other list. It's not going to have much on it. That might be one of them. But who was it mentioned uh, wrapping game and bacon? My all-time favorite game food is tenderloins off of a deer wrapped in bacon and put on the grill. I don't even season it. It doesn't need any pepper or salt or nothing. It's just so good by itself. I might sprinkle just a touch of pepper on it, but it doesn't even really need that. Jeremy Albritton, howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome on in. We're talking food. Ah, our favorite fish recipes and our favorite game dishes. Uh, yeah, so welcome in, Jeremy Albritton. Good to have you. Good to have you. I hope you're having a good night. Um, but yeah, the tenderloins off of a deer wrapped in bacon and thrown on the grill. That is just oof. That's that's my favorite for game for wild game. I've not eaten anything that can touch that. That is really 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 good. Really really good stuff. Tom says he wants to brine a deer roast for a week and then smoke it. At the wrong one. There it is. That sounds really, really tasty, Tom. I like that. I like that. I would certainly try that for sure. The right gravy make anything taste good, I suppose. I suppose. I've had that Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue. That's pretty good. I usually do chicken with that. Um, but wild pig would be pretty good with that too. I'm sure. I'm sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chuckar wild rice soup. Living M Man Outdoors is preparing the chuckar. I don't even know what that is. Is that an upland game bird? A chuckar, or is that a waterfowl? I just have no idea. I don't know what a chukar is. Enlighten me, folks. I can learn something tonight. That's a 2 thumbs up. I do a lot of that. I'm kind of 2 thumbs up guy. Bear meatloaf. Whew. I almost wonder if you have to turn bear into a meatloaf. Otherwise, wouldn't it just be really tough? Maybe even dry? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. MB Heritage Farms, welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're good on this Wednesday evening. We're talking about food. Everybody loves food, right? Oh, man. I'm sure wild hog would be good in a crock pot. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the kind of meat that would, the longer you cook it, I'm sure the better it is, for sure. For sure. Oh, I was right. It's an upland game bird. On my first guess, I was right. I was right. I just, I wasn't 100% sure on that. Judith and Davis say it's a Hungarian partridge. Compost taters. Taliban bird. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah, Raymond. Oh, I keep hitting the same wrong stuff. There you go. Bear is great meat. It's all in the prep and the cooking. That's probably true for any game meat. That's probably true in any game meat. You know, me personally, I'm a big deer hunter, and I love, love, love deer. Um, and I need to sharpen my shooting skills for this coming fall, because if you watched any of my videos last fall, you know that didn't work out so well. But I do. I really like deer meat, and that can taste differently depending on how you prepare it. Most butcher shops, especially around here, they saw through the bones. They quarter them up, they saw them up, they go through the bones, through everything, and it's that is what puts that gamey taste in your meat. I don't like that. 90% of the time, I like to prepare my own deer, and I debone everything. I cut it off the bone. I'll save my tenderloins and my back straps, cut those into chops myself, and my steaks. And then whatever's going to be ground, I always took the ground to the butcher shop, and they usually only charge me about 24 bucks, depending on how much I have, to do my ground. And it doesn't have a gamey taste when I prepare it that way. But if I take it to the whole deer carcass to the butcher shop, that that is different. In my opinion, it'll have that gamey taste that people talk about. Um, but I recently got a grinder, so this fall, actually in advance of this coming fall, I am going to sharpen my shooting skills so that when the opportunity comes this fall, I can ethically harvest a deer, and I'll have some meat this fall, and then I can try out my grinder. I'll try grinding my own burger if I get a deer. So we'll see. Oh yeah, yeah. Cooking up the loon and the bald eagle. Um, what about you know your red winged blackbird and your robins? You fry those up too. um, funny guy. Har 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 har. Oh man. Funny stuff, guys. Funny stuff. Cranking and Yanking is in the house. How you doing? Welcome in. We're talking about food, our favorite foods, our favorite recipes for both fish and wild game. Feel free to chime in with yours. And you cannot claim bald eagle. Living in man outdoors has already claimed that one. Still fighting this cold, folks. I'm never going to shake his sore throat. Yeah, thanks for popping in, Backwoods. Appreciate it. Daniel, you have a good night. Don't work too hard. Raymond Williams, he's got it back. Gotta go to work. Okay. Oh, no, he's saying that to Dana. Oh, my goodness. John says they got a bunch of coots down there. 25 a day in duck season. You know what we're starting to get too many of around here is those doggone cormorants. We got to get rid of them things. They are nasty. They're ugly. They're worthless, and they're just destroying all the islands and the little inland reservoirs we got around here. It's kind of disheartening. I don't know what we can do about them, but we got to do something about it. Steak and potatoes for cranking and yanking. I like it. I like it. If that's your jam, do your thing, man. Steak and potato. How do you like your steak? You like it bloody, or you one of them well done folks? You like to chew on your steak. Yeah, you've got cormorants down that way. They're a problem. They're a real problem. We've had them up on Lake Erie for I mean probably 2 decades. I mean in numbers, but now they're starting to show up down here on our inland reservoirs, and their populations are exploding. They're unchecked, but I don't understand why we can't do something about them. I mean, they're just out of control. You're exactly right, Raymond Williams. Eat fish and poop. And if there's an island with vegetation in your lake, they're going to destroy it. Any thing that's alive on that island will be dead in a year or two, and it's just nasty. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's about time somebody done something. You like your steak medium well? Sweet. I'm a medium rare guy. I'm a medium rare guy. Same with Lindia. Ha. Um, I used to. I used to have an uncle that was a charter boat captain on Lake Erie, and he ran six pack charters, mostly on the weekends, and I would go as a first mate. So, gosh, I mean, from like age 19 to like 25, I went and did walleye charters every weekend for April, mid-April through the middle of July, end of July, every weekend running up there. IL nearer him. Welcome in. Good to have you. We're talking food, your favorite foods, your favorite fish, your favorite game food, your favorite recipe for anything, your favorite dish. What do you like to eat? And we're talking food. We're making everybody hungry, especially me. Well, I tell you what, when this live is over, I'm gonna grab me some snacks and living in, man. Are you going live later tonight? You usually do 9:30 on Wednesdays, right? Isn't that right? Yeah. Lake Erie walleye is a lot of fun, especially June. Man, you can't beat June. You can't beat June. It's just so good. So good. Um, you want to go the end of June. You got to get past the mayfly hatch, and then the bugs are gone, and the fish are running around chasing, and they're much more aggressive. So you can get your limit in 3 or 4 hours. Some people want those big fish. You get that's a long trip, and it's a lot of trolling, which that's fine. That's a way to put a big fish in your boat. Or the other way is to show up between ice out and the middle of March and hope to get a female to show up on the reefs. Or you fish off the piers in November and December. Uh, Pretty much Halloween through ice up. That's when you. I got this one December. I want to say it was December 1st or December 3rd, something like that. And that was 1999. I know of one guy that got a 14 pounder through the ice. He's the brother of my friend Ryan. I fished the Maumee River run with Ryan about 3 times. Super good dude, and his brother popped a 14 pounder through the ice, and I don't even know how he got it through the hole. He said it barely fit. Um, but that's another way to get a big one is to go for ice. The challenge with Erie though is to get good ice on Erie. It takes a special winter. You know, 8 out of 10 winters we won't have safe ice on Lake Erie, or if we do, it's for like 1 week or 2 weeks. Another part of the problem is that they have barges that'll cut through the shipping channels and open the ice. What if a little bit of ice does develop, they'll open it up. And if you get any kind of wind, that little open, it'll ripple and it'll just. Lake Erie ice fishing is tough, tough, tough business, man. There's guys that do ice charters, but man, it's tough because it just doesn't get reliable ice that sticks for a long time unless it is cold, cold, cold for a long time and not a lot of wind. If you can get that solid 20, 24 inches of ice to build up without it getting blown all over the place and busted up, then you got a chance at it. But usually it gets busted up, and then there's wind, and then there's open water, and then there's ice fishing on the area. It's tough to get it to stay right, the conditions to stay right. You had chicken and collard greens and bacon tonight for dinner. Well, that sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's a great lake, and wind just tears it up. It's got a lot of current. It's got ships that cut through it, and then wind. It's just they do get safe ice periodically, but it is super tough to predict. And a lot of times it's a really short window. It's 1 or 2 weeks. So I mean, I can't try to plan my life around that. It's tough. It's tough. All right. That's you're fishing for the last bag of ice in the cooler, huh? Yeah, that's like I don't know what that's like. That's tough, isn't it, John? It's a tough, tough life down there. You got it real bad, buddy. So, so bad. This is my sympathy, like world's smallest mouse playing a violin or something. Tough, tough down there in Florida, boys. Tough down there. Any other favorite dishes? Um, Anybody like the prime rib? I like a good prime rib if it's done right. Again, kind of a medium well deal on that for sure. You're counting down already, aren't you? You're gonna bust another big northern pike through the ice. I can tell. I'll tell you what, Daniel, that sturgeon and the Rainy River kind of got my attention. Next next March, I might need to be booking a trip up there with you and Cody. Hello, Todd Morgan. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to have you. We're talking food and you like barbecue ribs. That's a 2 thumbs up. Yeah, you get those cooked right. Somebody knows what they're doing. I'm not somebody that knows what they're doing when it comes to ribs, but you get guys that know how to do ribs in a smoker, slow cooker type deal. Oh, where they just fall off the bone. Yeah, yeah, that's good stuff. It's not that bad around here. There's a couple of nice restaurants where it's doable. It's kind of again, I'll go to fine dining for that. I don't go to my mom and pop restaurants and try to eat prime rib. Not usually. Not usually. Yeah, those fish are just wild looking, man, and uh, and they get enormous. Now, even just because of the way they look, even just to catch a small or medium sized one would be a neat experience. But man, that rascal you tangled with, that was a beast. You like your steak pink but no blood? Okay, okay, okay. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, that doesn't sound too promising there, John. Whoo! Oh, we don't want that. No. What else? What else? I really appreciate you folks hanging out with me tonight. This has been awesome. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it every Wednesday evening for a few hours or for an hour, for a little while. Chit chat. Food. I knew I'd get some folks in here with food. Everybody loves food. Yeah, it's doesn't sound good. Whoop. I'll knock that one off. Steak, chicken, bacon. That's all you need. I love me some bacon. Mama Bear prepping. Welcome in. Hi, well, we're talking about food, Mama Bear. We're talking about food, our favorite dishes. Do you have a favorite food? Todd Morgan says he likes his deer back straps. Those are really good. Absolutely. I'll boil that leg in cheap beer first. Yeah, that might be the way to do it. Everything. Mama Bear likes all the food. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Anything that's meat, right? Bacon has been mentioned quite a bit tonight. Steak has been mentioned quite a bit. Um, oh my goodness, cranking and yanking. Come on now. Food preservation and meat stuff on your channel. I'm Fantastic. That's fantastic. We've mentioned ribs, barbecue, hog. There's been talk of prime rib. There's been talk of all the seafood, how we like to prepare our fish. Um, a lot of people talked about frying it on an iron skillet. A lot of people talked about deep fryer. Some people talked about open fire. That was Backwoods Barbarian talking about fresh fish on an open fire, and that's fantastic. Absolutely. Mama Bear loves salmon. If she's gonna eat fish, she likes her salmon. We like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smoked gator gar, says Judith and Dan Davis. Now there's a dish that I have never had. Ah man, that would maybe take some convincing for me. Gator gar does not sound very appealing. That doesn't just roll right off the tongue like yum gator gar. Ugh, I don't know. I could probably be talked into it. I could probably be talked into it, but I wouldn't go out of my way looking for that. I'm a big fan of salmon too, Mama Bear. Especially if I like how chain restaurants. If I'm out to eat at a chain restaurant, I'll see if they got salmon because it's hard to mess that up. It really is. It really is. If they don't have that, I'll usually get a burger. you know, that's a staple at mom and pop restaurants too. So similar to pork chops. Okay. Okay. Well, and it depends on how you do it. A lot of people that cook pork chops just dry them out. So I don't know. I imagine you really got to watch what you're doing when you're preparing those. Right? On the surface, it doesn't sound super appealing, but I could probably be talked into it. I could probably be talked into it. I bet I could be talked into it. Especially if it's got a good smell when you prepare it, and somebody really knew what they were doing, I'd try it. I would certainly try it. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else? Anybody got anything else? German pork chop? Probably get some good and tender then. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that helps. Sure that helps. You got to use the sawzall to get to the meat of the doggone gator gar. Wow. Wow. I didn't know it was like that. It's a little bit more involved than just slicing it open with your fillet knife, huh? And again, that sounds like an awful lot of work for some meat that I'm like, I don't know. Wouldn't be my first choice. It wouldn't be my first choice. There's got to be easier options, doesn't there? Sweet, sweet. Howdy, 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 says Bar Run Forge. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking food. Everybody likes food, right, Bar Run? Good stuff. Welcome in. Hey, I really enjoyed your hammer video. I'm looking forward to a Thor's hammer next, right? You're going to do one of those? You like the bacon? Yeah, we've been talking about bacon for sure. You can wrap that around just about any kind of meat and throw it on the grill and you're good to go. Whether you're talking about wild hog or deer or just about anything. Just about anything. Even chuckar. I think Living MN Outdoors was talking about doing chuckar with bacon on the grill. Oh, yeah, that's Judith and Dan Davis is sharing another little secret about the gator gar. You have to rinse the meat good because their eggs are semi-poisonous. You're failing to convince me to try them. I told you I could be convinced. You're kind of pushing me the opposite way. It was already something that I was thinking I wasn't sure I wanted to try, and you're talking me right out of it. Like I'm off the fence the other way. Just finished the hammer for your son. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. I enjoy that. Absolutely. Absolutely. For real. I've yammered on for quite a while. We've talked about quite a lot of food. Um, I'm gonna hit this real quick. Some of you are on here now that weren't on here in the beginning. I went fishing last night, and I caught two really nice bass. But this smallmouth bass, that's one of my best ever. That fish was 19 and a half inches. If you want a better look at the picture, you can look. If you wanted to look at my Instagram, Dark 30 Outdoors, it's on there. And if you look at that picture, you can see the straps and my action camera on my shoulder. I forgot to put the micro SD card back in the action camera. So I did not get any footage of that. I didn't get any footage of that, of the catch. So, what a stinker. I also didn't really know what I had. I thought I had like a 16 and a half, 17 incher, and then that big fish was caught on the very next cast. This was back-to-back casts, and I knew it was over 18. It was 18 and a half. I wasn't sure, but I marked them on my rod, and I measured my rod when I got home, and the smaller fish was 18, and the bigger one was 19 and a half. So, yeah, that's one of my best smallmouth bass ever, and that would have made a really awesome YouTube video, and I blew it. No micro SD card in the action camera. Whoops. But anyway, I wanted to throw that up there again for those that weren't on at the beginning to see that. And now for the channel shout outs. If you guys might have some of these folks, you might not. If you don't have them, definitely check them out. They're worth checking out. These are awesome outdoors channels, outdoors related channels. The first one is Brenda Hikes. That's first name is Brenda, Brenda, and then Hikes, and it's just what you would think it is. She does a lot of hiking videos, exploring videos. She reviews some gear on her channel. She's got just real close to 2,000 subscribers and 135 videos up. So check out her channel. She does a really fantastic job. And then channel shout out number 2 is Boneheads Outdoors. They have 681 subscribers, and they've got 114 videos out there. So lots of good hunting and trapping stuff. Check out Boneheads Outdoors, especially if you like the hunting. He's got a lot of shed hunting videos, and they find a lot of sheds. If you watch a shed hunting video from me, it'd just be me walking through the woods, not finding anything. But no, they find a ton of sheds. They do a fantastic job. And then channel shout out number 3, that's going to go to Owls Outdoors. He's got 280 subscribers. He's got 104 videos out there. If you like dry humor, if you like crazy man, Al's your guy. And he does, he's part of the community. He does chime in a lot of the lives. I do see him participating. Owls Outdoors, like think of like Owl's Tire Shop. AL is his name, Al. So it's possessive. Owls Outdoors. Lots of good hunting and trapping stuff. He does some fishing stuff too. He makes lures. I want to say he's from Ohio, but he's now down in either Kentucky or West Virginia. Maybe in West Virginia. He's got a great channel. Check out Owls Outdoors. Channel shout out number 4 is To Everything Outdoors. I believe he's in Southern Ohio. He's got just over 1,000 subscribers. He's got 52 videos out there. He does a really good job of editing with some of his fishing and outdoors videos. In fact, I should probably watch more of his videos. I think I could pick up some tips on my B-roll game and that sort of thing. Where are we at here? Channel shout out number 5, Northeast Ohio Hikes and Bikes. They've got 660 subscribers, and they have put out 90 videos. A lot of good hiking videos, and then they hit the biking trails too, the mountain biking trails. So there's really good footage of that. Just a great channel. Ohio dudes, small channel. For those I know I've got several subscribers and fans that are in Ohio, so check them out. All of those channels are really, really good channels. Those are my channel shout outs. I'm going to add them into the description, a channel link into the description for this live when I'm done and I edit it, the description. So you'll be able to click those links if you weren't able to, simplify it so that you don't have to go trying to search them. Yeah, John, you like running into old Roland Martin out there on the lake, don't you? Telling him where to catch him. Oh, he's going out going out west for 5 weeks. Cool. Cool. All right, folks. I've rambled on for over an hour. That's all I got for you. Railroader Guy says happy birthday to John Blue. Thanks for stopping in, Scott. you caught me at the very, very end here. We talked a lot about food, so I know you like food. I would have expected you here sooner. I know you're busy. You're a busy, busy guy. You got family. You're a family guy, right? Railroader guy, family guy. Thanks for stopping in. That's the end. Good night, folks. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all. Good night.